Thanks for the question. This is about a shift from what is largely a paper-based analog set of processes to processes that are data-enabled and automated. We're completely redesigning, we're rebuilding and replatforming all of DXC's London market central services, and that means significant modernisation of the technology infrastructure that you depend on every day to process hundreds of thousands of insurance premiums and claims.
Okay, well, thanks for the question. I'll answer really as one of the non-shareholders in the JV. I think first and foremost, any renewal of a long-term relationship, renewal of the vows, if you like, sends a really strong signal that the parties to that JV still believe they have a common purpose, and in this case, that common purpose is to serve and transform the way the London market operates. I think the second point is, for me, it's always inconceivable that we could embark on this transformation journey without having the knowledge and experience of the joint venture and the wider DXC organisation as part of that journey. Why would we possibly deny ourselves that? And I think, thirdly, it provides certainty. It gives our members, the Lloyd's managing agents, the certainty that there is service provision well into the future, and these are mission-critical business services that the JV provides. And I think it importantly provides JV as a service provider with the certainty of a business and a revenue stream to underpin that investment that's being made.
When the joint venture was formed, it actually brought together 3 different bureaus that all worked slightly differently and brought their own technology. And that situation has persisted ever since. And that means that there are unnecessary inefficiencies in the way that we do accounting and settlement. And those inefficiencies have the potential to cause delays. The refreshed joint venture will take the core functionality and ensure that simple business can be instantly transacted and more complex business can be transacted efficiently and quickly.
That's a good question, because Blueprint 2, as part of Future at Lloyd's, is really a story about data. And it's a goal to have a common set of data that gets processed through a common set of pipes for digital processing. And at its highest level, the joint venture will build the engine room that will allow that to happen. So as people have said, simple business goes through without probably much human intervention at all, and complex business gets handled much more efficiently and quickly than it has in the past. I think we really are trying to accomplish 3 things: faster, the ability to do things quicker; cheaper, the ability to process business at a low-cost basis; and better, which is really around having complete data so we can do things, for example, in claims that we can't do today.
In terms of what we're expecting from the delivery of the JV, personally, I'm less focused on the technical side of this. I'm far more interested in the new or improved or enhanced business service capabilities that the solution will enable. We're taking it as a given that the technology underpinning those services will be modern, safe, and secure. We are expecting the delivery to enable and unlock automation and simplification of the back office administration processes around accounting and settlement. And I think importantly, we are hoping and expecting that the cost of change, because the world will not stand still, but the cost of change, whether it's new customer requirements, new regulatory requirements, will be far more easier and affordable to expedite. The final point is it's really important here that we maintain this discipline of a solution that works in the London market for Lloyd's and for the company market. So our expectation is, as far as is humanly possible, the solution being delivered will be common to all, and that's going to be good for our brokers and company market brokers as well.
We're implementing a fully digital accounting and settlement platform based on a cord global standard messaging that includes net settlement. This has the potential to make the argument to bring business to London more compelling than ever.
Probably going to go into a bit of detail here, but I think the first thing that the JV solution will supply is a new digital gateway capability. And what we'll see within that gateway capability is earlier and consistent validation that really is the underpinning of the data quality and the data assurance. That for me is the key to the door in terms of market transformation. That gateway service will provide for everyone an irrefutable policy data record against which all the downstream processing can take place. I just want to return to the point around simplification and automation. The way the marketplace, and certainly the Lloyd's marketplace, operates today, there is an unnecessary level of complexity in the way we account and sell premiums and claims. And that's because the Lloyd's operating model is very much to decompose transactions to the finest level of detail to drive tax and regulatory reporting. So the simplification comes when we're able to abstract upwards and transact at a simpler level, yet still satisfy that reporting obligation in parallel with confidence that it's the same data being used for two different purposes. I think from a sort of a final point of view, the expectation we have is that this will unlock faster cash flow as well. So the faster claim payment initiative certainly is designed to get claims paid quicker to our clients. My hope and expectation is that we can also look to expedite the movement of risk premium from insurers and reinsurers through to their insurers and reinsurers. I don't think we're going to allow the policyholders to pay premium quicker, but once they decide they want to pay it, I'm hopeful that we can expedite the payment through that value chain. For me, one last point here is the sting in the tail, because this is a wonderful joint venture solution that we all desperately want, but it has to be powered by data. And one of the things outside of the JV's control, it really is the dependency that exists on the placing platforms, the electronic trading platforms, to package up and supply this data in good quality form into the digital gateway. So for me, this is very much a two-part program of change, transformation. The JV part at the back end, post-bind, and the placement systems at the front end, collating and making available that data that's so essential to the transformation.
So look, you just heard from both Louise and Rob. I mean, this is going to reduce complexity in the marketplace, and overall, you know, this new digital platform, it will fundamentally change the operating model for the whole of London market, and it's going to facilitate this increasingly complex business ecosystem. In the first instance, it will help us improve business performance, and that includes cost efficiency of the market. So for example, by automating the processes supporting placement or policy creation and claims management and accounting, we will be able to reduce production lead times. Obviously, that improves customer satisfaction and ultimately market processing costs, and it will enable us to adapt much more quickly to changing market conditions to outpace the competition.
So, listen, I've done a lot of programs over the years, and I think there's three main pieces to it, all of which are important and they have to work together. And when you're in the London marketplace with all the stakeholders, it becomes even more important. First one is people. So you've got to have the right people on the pitch, and that includes market participants, people in the joint venture, the associations, and future at Lloyd's. You need to have work plans that are joined up so that people understand what their roles are, and you need to have people in the marketplace in those work plans so that the things that are being built by the joint venture or DXC as the technology provider are being built that are fit for purpose. And you do need to have governance as well, just given the magnitude of what we're trying to do here. I think the joint venture has governance both at the board level with the joint venture board as well as with the TTB. And from my perspective, I think 2022 and 2023 is going to really be tested on, are we successful in bringing those three things to bear to deliver? If we are, I think it'll be a big success.
One of the things I think we have learned is that it's very important to have representation on whatever governance board it happens to be from people who understand the market. And that's why the governance model for the build of the joint solution plan is primarily governed by the TTB. The JV board, that's the board of directors of the company that Lloyd's, the IUA, and us at DXC jointly own, it will function as a standard company board representing the interests of its shareholders and ensuring appropriate corporate governance and so forth. And the JSP represents a huge transformation program, which is no doubt something the JV board will follow closely, but I see the TTB advising the program and playing a huge part in managing all of the various different stakeholders.
Well, I think if we go back to the conversation around how do you govern the program and move things forward, I think the good news is the London marketplace is quite used to working together in a collaborative fashion to make something happen. It's a complex marketplace. It's got a lot of stakeholders, but there's a long history of people working together. And so I think what we need to do is make sure that each of these related parties has a work plan that makes sense both for them as well as for the overall effort. I think, as we said in the past, this is a solution for the London marketplace. So that means regardless of what part you play, whether you're a placing platform, whether you're trying to do something to deliver Blueprint 2, whether you're the joint venture trying to build technology through DXC, those roadmaps have to be joined up and people have to be talking to each other, because inevitably in something like this, there's always going to be something that goes wrong. That's okay. When it goes wrong, the real issue is, can you resolve it quickly and then move on?
So look, thanks for the question. Look, transitional services are going to allow you to move to the new digital services at a pace that works for you and based on your level of digital maturity. That means they'll allow you to work as far as possible the way you do currently, while enabling the move from what your legacy systems are to digital services. So for example, the reach back transitional services are going to allow you to access historical key information for claims or payment history, for example, from an existing or legacy submission, and bring that information into a digital service going forward, allowing you to process both new and heritage submissions globally.
Engage, get involved, make sure you don't just stand by as the market changes around you. The IUA will be working closely with the joint venture, with Lloyd's and with the other associations to ensure we have comprehensive plans to communicate changes with all users of the Bureau. We'll be running presentations, inviting the Joint Solution Plan team to our committee meetings and ensuring the message is spread as far and wide as possible.
I completely agree with Louise. I think engagement is critical. There is a really, really strong appetite from the managed agent community to engage with DXC, to engage with the joint venture, to engage with Future at Lloyd's, to maintain engagement with the IUA community as well, and really understand what they need to do, when they need to do it, and how they need to do it in order to be able to be ready to consume these next generation digital services. What will be critical is they get their questions asked and answered in good time to factor them into their business planning and their budgeting and the conversations they're having with their vendors. I think the final thing I'd say is keep your eye on the prize. So this is transformative. When it happens, it's going to be transformative, and we will have a wonderful, automated, simplified marketplace that will be the envy of the world. So keep your eye on the prize. We won't get there in one big leap. It's going to be a step at a time, but let's get to that end state as quickly as we can.
So look, like any major transformation, the market needs to be focused on the benefits of the end game. In practical terms, one, please look out for the related communications, ensure the right people in your team understand them. Two, speak to your software vendor, understand their plans. And as DXC, we're working with them on the implications. And then three, get engaged. It's a significant change and a journey, and we are collectively needing the right mindset to be successful.